So we're here together. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited. This is another episode of Latina Herstory. It is Saturday. I have an amazing advocate with me. She has agreed to spend some time with me talking about her advocacy. Aiyana, are you there with me?
I am. Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you. Now, everyone knows if you know me, my name is Talia. I'm a columnist and I'm also a member of community media. Aiyana knows me both professionally and personally, and she knows I'm trying to get a lot more professional about the way I handle things. So I have sent Aiyana questions and I'm going to stick to it. So, my first question is, who are you and how do you define your role in public spaces?
Hi, I'm Aiyana. I am a model, an activist, and a pageant queen. And what was the last part of that question? I'm sorry.
How do you define yourself in public spaces? Like, who are you basically? Like, kind of just the way that you see yourself in advocacy. And I thought you did a great job.
Thank you. I see myself being able to make some big changes in the next no more than like a year. Um, I think I am strong and powerful, and when I speak that a lot of people listen to what I say.
Yes, and I was just going to add, you are also a participant of the Western New York Women's March. You had an amazing speech, and you joined us for the procession, excuse me, the peaceful gathering. And I thought you're gorgeous. For those of you who are watching us and not just listening, you can see the beautiful flyer that I put together, and that's actually you at the Women's March. So I'm just so proud and grateful that you were able to lend your voice to the Women's March. I beg your participation for this upcoming March. And I think that's a really good way for me to transition into my next question, which is what are your passions and how do you express your activism in the world?
My passions are making clothes and speaking up for the people that can't speak for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you're a fashion designer. I love that part of you. And I think it's so interesting the way specifically your generation like expresses their identity in the way that you present yourself. I think I noticed really early on that you all didn't really seem to be interested in like heavy like archetypal kind of expression as it related to how you dressed yourself. So like I love that you've taken that a step further and that you're a business person, and I know this is kind of a little off script, but do you want to remind people the name of your clothing brand and your kind of like your design house?
Yes. So I have a clothing brand called Urban underscore resilience underscore. That is all my social medias. So it is just called Urban Resilience. I take a lot of thrifted clothes pieces that people are going to end up just throwing out because it has a small hole in it or a bleach stain or whatever, and I repurpose it.
I absolutely love it. And like I know that a lot of your identity informs like you wanting to do that because I think so much about repurposing talks to sustainability and like conservation and just like good curation of what we already have. And I think one of the ways that I want to ask you another question too about like kind of how your identity informs your work is like, how does your identity inform the way you show up in the media or does it at all?
That is a good question. Um, I would not say my identity per se is what makes me dress or a certain type of way. I feel like it is more of my profession, what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I'm with, and what type of event it is. So if it is a more businessy event, I'm going to make sure that I am very businessy, business casual. If it's a more laid back, I'm going to make sure that I am not too dressy, but I'm not out here in like sweatpants and a hoodie.
Yeah, for sure. I really appreciate that. And I think that um I always say that people treat me differently depending on how I'm dressed and where I am. And I think a lot of my perspective, at least as someone who's conducting this interview, who's like biracial and has experienced not often seeing myself in the media, is that like when I am in the media, I am very deliberate about the way that I present myself just because I know how special it is of an opportunity for someone of my heritage or my background to like even just I always say be on the mic. So that's why I use the hashtag Latina on the mic because it's just like shocking that
Well,
I'm leading a conversation. So I'm just so grateful for you and for you reflecting with me and for you spending some time to tune in with me.
anytime, girly, anytime.
Yeah, so I for those of you who are just listening now, again, my name's Tyler Rodriguez. I'm a columnist, so I'm conducting this interview under my brand Latina Herstory. On the weekends, I try to check in with leaders who I find really inspiring. I have a micro podcast, which I'm really, really excited about because I know a lot of people like you and I, especially some of the leaders from the communities that we represent, don't always have a lot of time. So I try to conduct interviews on the weekends in between 10 and 15 minutes with amazing leaders, Latina CEOs, different people who are lending their voices in different spaces. So thank you so much for checking in with me on this Saturday. And then what I wanted to ask you next, and then obviously I'll ask you, which is the always the best question that I have, but the last one in terms of the ones that you and I had talked about is what is next for you, like in terms of your advocacy, and how do people show support for like the different things that you're doing?
The next big step in my advocacy will be held on October 9th. I will be doing a fashion show to bring awareness to the MMIW crisis, which MIW, for those who don't know, is stands for Murdered Missing Indigenous Women. Talia is also on the board with me as well, so shout outs to you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too. And I think that this is going to be one of the next big things in Buffalo with being with people um actually caring and wanting to learn more of this.
I absolutely am so grateful to you for allowing me to participate in the planning body. I know this is a continuation. Again, we talked about you speaking. I know that there is some activism that you had organized around like annotated bibliographies and giving researchers and students concrete factual information. Um, and I'm just so excited for there to be like a live event. But I think one of the things I'm really excited about, not that I was asked, Aiyana, is the celebration. So tell me about how you're planning from your lens, right? Because even though I'm part of the planning body, this is really a product of your leadership and your vision, and that's a credit to you. Like, how are you excited to balance the celebration part with the raising awareness part? Because I know that there's kind of a lot of messages that we want people to walk away from. But one of them is that the indigenous communities are so vibrant and beautiful, and I'm so excited to see some of the clothing that you have curated.
Alrighty. I think that the at least through my for me my part is the exciting of bringing my love for fashion, but my love of advocacy all in one place at one time through an article of clothing, because I feel like it's going to be something fun, something different. It's not a let me stand up in front of this whiteboard with a presentation behind me just reading off facts. I feel like it's going to be a semi interactive thing per se.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, so I have one last question that wasn't scripted, and then I'm going to ask you if you have any questions for me. So with everything set and willing, obviously with good fortune, we should definitely have the event. And in my mind, when you have events like this, like you impact lots of generation of people, especially our young people. So like, are you going to be prepared for that moment when someone's like, "Are you the boss? Are you in charge?" And they just have that look of wonder, like, I just don't know how to express my admiration for you to create an opportunity for young people to get to know each other, but, like, um, I don't know, I guess the question I wanna ask is, like, are you prepared to how are you prepared to kinda understand the impact? Because I mean, think about how many people Aiyana, can you give me an example of, like, when we're thinking about our guest list, how many folks we wanna invite? Because I know we were putting together a really good guest list, and then I think I'm messing up my question, but I'll just add with, I think it's gonna be an event that's gonna affect so many different people.
Most definitely. Number wise, I cannot give you a number off the top of my head. It is quite a few. I want to say it's at least 10 to 15 major companies, native community centers, police forcemen, different um people within the police force. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm
It's gonna be big. I'm so excited. I'm really proud of you, and I'm just so grateful for you checking in with me. I know that you're actively planning this work, and if you felt comfortable, I think one of the things that I wanted to do was to just highlight one of the reasons that we came together was one to really commemorate and talk about your involvement with the West New York Women's March, which I'm pretty sure I already begged you to be a part of the next one.
oh,
So
just give me times, date, and what the question will be.
oh, right, Aiyana, exactly, like, I remember handing you the mic, handing you and Vet the mic, and being like, "I've never been sure that, like, someone is gonna be able to just, like, shake the room." So I'm so grateful for that and definitely wanting to come back together to talk about that, but also wanting to highlight that there is an opportunity, am I correct, for people to still get involved with the show, to volunteer, to contribute in any way? If they wanna do that, can you tell them how, they might be able to do that, Aiyana, if that's separate or distinct from just, kind of getting a hold of you generally?
So I have all my flyers all posted on my social medias. I will give those out. I am still looking for a few more models. I'm trying to get a little more native representation with those models because I don't have as many as I would have liked to have. I am still looking for vendors, videographers, I believe photographers still, hair, makeup, and you can reach me on Instagram at Aiyana_Jacy. So spell out that is AIYANA_JACY. You can also find me on Facebook at Aiyana Jacy. And you can email me at IainaJacy29@gmail.com. And from there, I can give out my phone number as well to contact you, have you guys contact me as well. And yeah, you guys can ask me anything.
Yeah, also, if you're in my network and you just wanna learn more, if you haven't gotten the flyer, please reach out to me. If you have questions, please reach out to me and I can connect you directly with Aiyana. And Aiyana, I'm just so grateful again to be part of the planning body and to help you, continue in your journey of leadership and advocacy. Before we close the space, I just wanted to ask you if you have any questions for me. And if you don't, that's okay, because that was not a scripted question, Aiyana.
Um,
Um,
I don't think I do at the moment.
That's perfect. I love you for that. And I just want to let everybody know and remember, this will be available on YouTube, right? Because this is my micro podcast, but you'll also be able to catch the audio on my Swellcast. So make sure to check in with me there at Swell. Lend your voice to the world. Aiyana, thank you so much. I really appreciate you spending some time with me.
No problem. Thank you for having me again. I
All right,
appreciate you.
all right, I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.